The message from the coaches in our group is to continually look for wickets. So, I think particularly on grounds like this, all around India, you're going to go for runs. So, I think if you have an attacking mindset, it goes a long way. I still think definitely haven't bowled at my best. Pretty inconsistent at times, but if you're always searching for wickets, then you can change the game.
Well done. If you're talking about a match-winning impact, Adam Zampa made one for sure tonight. Congratulations, and all the best for the next game.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Conversation with former India cricketer Sanjay Manjrekar. Adam Zampa finished with 3 for 70, and what prize wickets they were. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Kedar Jadhav and Virat Kohli be accounting for the Indian middle order. 3 wickets for Adam Zampa, 3 wickets for Jai Richardson as well. Finished for 3 for 37, but his start is what Australia got a foundation from. We'll slip into a quiet break and be back with more presentation as well.
One team on path of setting new records. Another made history in the past. And now, one more time. These two teams will fight each other to prove their might. 2 T20s, 5 ODIs, Australia Tour of India. Don't miss live commentary with cricket experts on SportsFlashes Radio, the global audio broadcaster of BCCI. Tune in now to SportsFlashes Radio, the world's biggest sports radio channel. Catch all the cricketing action and complete drama at one click of your phone.
He does that. Smack again onside being peppered. Consecutive boundaries.
Don't miss. Download the app now. SportsFlashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. SportsFlashes.
Here we go. What a start. Wow, it's a crunch that very first ball. Oh, what about that? What about that? Oh, and another one. Easily done by the keeper.
It's about time for Indian T20 Showdown. Stay tuned to SportsFlashes. You are listening to SportsFlashes live. Catch all the live updates of Australia Tour of India from 24th February to 13th March. Download the app now and stay tuned for more updates. SportsFlashes, world's biggest sports radio channel.
Welcome back to Ranchi, and the news from here is that Australia have defeated India in the third one-day international by 32 runs to reduce India's lead in the series to 2-1. India go with that lead to Mohali, where the match will be played on Sunday. But certainly, lot of positives for Australia today. Aaron Finch coming back into form with a 93-run knock of 99 deliveries. Osman Khwaja getting his maiden ODI 100, 104 of 113. Glenn Maxwell getting his usual cameo, 47 of 31 before he was smartly run out. And then Marcus Stoinis, 31, and Alex Carey, 21 not out, carrying Australia past the 300 mark. And in the bowling department, it was Jai Richardson and Pat Cummins who gave them a dream start, picking up overs, wickets early in the innings. And by the end of the 5th over, both the openers were back in the dressing room. Ambati Raidu didn't last long, just made 2 of 8. Thereafter, a partnership did flourish. Mahendra Singh Dhoni scoring 26, building a partnership of 59 with his captain, Virat Kohli. As long as Kohli was battling on, Indian hopes were still up. Jadeja perished to the wiles of Zampa again for 26 of 39. And then when Kohli was foxed by Zampa, clean bowled for 123, his 41st ODI 100, 8th against Australia. That was possibly the curtains. little cameos from Vijay Shankar and Jadeja didn't really help India's cause, and Australia ran out deserving winners by 32 runs. Adam Zampa 3 for 70, Jai Richardson 3 for 37, and Pat Cummins 3 for 37 as well, as he picked up the wickets of Rohit Sharma, Ambati Rayudu, and then the last man to go was it was Kuldeep Yadav, caught by Finch of the bowling of Pat Cummins. So he too had figures of 3 for 37. Both the new ball bowlers have posting identical figures. 3 for 37. Marcus Stoinis was a tad expensive, but he was backed up well by Glenn Maxwell, who bowled his 5 overs for 30 runs and did have a few close shouts as well, including a review against Vijay Shankar, which really did not go their way. So we'll slip into another short break and come back with the presentation.
One team on path of setting new records. Another made history in the past. And now, one more time. These two teams will fight each other to prove their might. 2 T20s, 5 ODIs, Australia Tour of India. Don't miss live commentary with cricket experts on SportsFlashes Radio, the global audio broadcaster of BCCI. Tune in now to SportsFlashes Radio, the world's biggest sports radio channel.
Here we go, what a start! Wow, it's a crunch, that very first ball. Oh, what about that? What about that? Oh, and another one. Easily done by the keeper.
It's about time for Indian T20 Showdown. Stay tuned to Sports Flashes.
Australia have beaten India by 32 runs at the Jharkhand State Cricket Association Stadium in Ranchi to reduce the innings, the series lead. Century by Usman Khwaja for the winning cause. Virat Kohli getting 123 for the losing cause. And it's time now to join Sanjay Manjrekar for the post-match presentation.
Right, before we introduce our presentation party, a big thank you to our sponsors, starting with Paytm, the team sponsor Oppo, the kit sponsor Nike, official partners Hyundai, Pepsi and Jana Small Finance Bank. The BCCI would also like to thank the JSCA for the smooth conduct of this match and all the government agencies who were involved in staging this third one-day international. Our presentation party, starting from my immediate left, got Mr. Rajesh Verma of JSCA, got Mr. Kuldeep Singh as well, President of JSCA, Mr. Kamlesh Kumar Thakur, Head of Sales, Pepsi, Mr. Dhananjaya M, Cluster Head, Emerging Micro Sales, Jana Small Finance Bank, and Mr. Anagat Parikh, Vice President, Paytm. The first invitation is to the Indian captain, Virat Kohli, please. Right, Virat, in a way it was a great challenge because 300 runs you don't have to chase too often these days because your bowling has been so good. So you were looking forward to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were. I mean, especially the way we pulled back things in the last 10 overs. In the first innings, we thought we could be chasing 350 plus. The way Australia was going, I think they batted outstandingly well for the first 40 overs. And then last 10 overs, we pulled the game back nicely after Maxi's run out. So, yeah, we're quite optimistic about our chances in the second innings. But we were told there's going to be dew at 7:15. There's not a drop of dew on the ground even now. So, yeah, I got that calculation wrong a little bit. But, yeah, nonetheless, we were really keen to get that score on the board.
Yeah, with the dew, I think the security is very tight here. That is what Harsha was saying, that you couldn't come in at the time they needed to. But just going back on a few collapses happening in the series, scores of 99 for 4 today as well. When you're chasing 300, although you got going, that fact that you've lost 4 wickets was always going to hold you slightly back.
Yeah, I mean, the wicket wasn't improving at all. It wasn't getting any better to bat on. So you had to make the most of whatever loose balls you got. And I tried to do that for a decent time of the innings that I played in. But yeah, eventually I knew that, at odd risk you have to keep taking. And with 1 wicket it's going to get more and more difficult. And that's exactly what happened. So if we had 3 down and we needed 100 of 13, 14 overs, it's still achievable. But with 5 down, it was just a matter of 1 more wicket, and Australia knew that as well. So they kept pitching the ball in the areas that made us hit good shots. And eventually I got out, and then Vijay got out, and there was no looking back from there.
Any worries at all with the wickets falling in that way? 4 down, 5 down for 100, sometimes less than that. Does that worry you, or you think that's fine? It should be easy to sort out.
Look, no team wants to do that. I mean, we are a team that takes a lot of pride in our cricket, and we are a team that has strung in partnerships. When we've lost 2 wickets at least, we haven't lost 3 in bunches many times before. So it's happened a couple of times this series already, and that's something that we really look forward to plug in the next couple of games. And the guys who have got out, I'm sure they want to make the most of that opportunity. So yeah, we don't want to see any more collapses. We want to see a mini partnerships to get us going, and then get a strong total in the middle, or chase big totals down like we had to today.
Another fine 100. It was gorgeous actually watching you play. Did you think that you were really hitting the ball well? One of your finest innings. You've got 41 one-day international 100s now.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of hitting the ball well, I think it was one of the finest, and I just felt really clear in my head from ball 1, and I just, even after 3 down, I told myself I have to play my game. I can't think of what's going to happen if I play my shots. I have to play the game that's gotten me till this level, and that's the same thing I want to continue out there in the middle. I was really disappointed that I got out. I really felt like we had a chance with a difference of 20 between balls and runs. But that's what happens. Australia played better on the day. Adam bowled well, and they deserved to win.
Yeah, 66 international 100s for you now, Virat. Final question now. Next 2 matches, are you going to look to win? Obviously, you want to win, but can we expect some changes? People getting rested and trying out some of your bench strength?
Yeah, we will have a few changes in the next couple of games. We'll have to figure out what those changes are. But the idea is to still ask the guys to go out there and then put in match-winning performances and take a lot of pride in winning games for the country. So that mindset will not change. Yes, we will have a few new faces given chances, and they have to make the most of their chances, because there's a World Cup coming in and everyone wants to be on that flight to the World Cup as well. So the guys are really excited, looking forward to it, and a little hiccup in the middle, but we'll recoup and recover and come back stronger in the next one.
All the best for that one.
Thank you.
Virat, just before you go, there's another award there that you have to collect, the Pepsi Swag Star of the match, and this goes to Virat Kohli, a check of ₹1 lakh and a trophy as well. Virat Kohli is a Pepsi Swag Star of the match, 123 of 95 balls, a fantastic innings. Unfortunately, couldn't quite win the game for his team tonight. Our next presentation is the Jana Bankable Player of the Match, and this goes to Adam Zampa. 10 overs for 70 runs, 3 wickets. Wickets of Dhoni, Kedar Jadhav and Virat Kohli are Jana Bankable Player of the Match. Zampa will receive a check of ₹1 lakh and a trophy from Dhananjaya M from Jana Small Finance Bank. Next up, I can now invite the winning captain for tonight, the Australian captain Aaron Finch. Great weather here in Ranchi, and nice feeling as well, Aaron, to bounce back. The series is alive, 2-1, well done.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pretty good performance from our guys. I think to get over 300 on that wicket was a really good batting performance, and the way that we bowled up front in particular in the first 10 overs to put the squeeze on three wickets, and 3 big wickets at that was important.
And the old cliche of cricket worked, lay a good foundation and then you end up getting a big score. So 100 from the opener, you got 90 as well. It's a great start too.
Yeah, it was nice. I think that's important, especially in these conditions. We know how hard it is when guys have to come in and try and score quickly through their middle overs. So I think it was really important that Usman and I kept going as deep as we could and allowed Maxi to come in and play the way that he does and storing us towards the end.
And how are you feeling? Because this was bound to happen. I mean, the class was eventually going to be reciprocated with runs, and that happened tonight. So congratulations. How are you feeling personally with that score?
Yeah, not bad. I think I've been training really hard and working on my game as hard as I possibly can. So I always had faith that I would get some runs, and it was nice to really start us off with a good opening partnership there and set up what was a defendable total.
Quick word on Usman Khwaja, Adam Zampa, Cummins, they all performed, did their bit in the end, proving to be the match-winning combination.
Yeah, I think Usman played a fantastic knock, and then Zams bowled well. I think Jai Richardson was a standout with the ball as well, to be able to put pressure on world-class players at the top of the order and get wickets on a wicket that was probably easiest to score in the first 10 overs when the ball was hard. So the work that he did there was outstanding. Paddy Cummins was at his best again.
Well, congratulations on the win and all the best for the next game.
Thank you, mate.
So that was Aaron Finch, our winning captain for tonight. The final presentation is the Paytm Man of the Match, and this goes to Usman Khwaja. And I'm going to invite Mr. Anagat Parikh to use the Paytm UPI money transfer to digitally transfer the prize money of rupees 1 lakh and a trophy as well to the man of the match. Usman Khwaja, 104 of 113 balls, 11 fours, 1 6. Aaron Finch, Zampa, Virat Kohli, they were all discussed to be the contenders or candidates for the player of the match. Finally, Usman Khwaja getting the nod. First one-day international 100 as well. We had a chat with you in between innings as well, and winning the game for Australia, that makes it even more special.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing like winning, especially against a really good Indian side. That made us work hard tonight too. There was patches, obviously getting those wickets early when we first went out there was massive, but with Virat batting the way he is, and then with obviously lots of good batsmen around him, you can never count your chicken. So it's nice to get that win.
And the bowling has always been superb. All they needed was some runs on the board. You guys did it. So a word on the bowlers, how they managed to defend that score?
Yeah, look, the bowlers bowled beautifully. You were probably going to bowl first in that wicket too because we weren't quite sure what a good total was. But Finchy batted beautifully at the start. Then we got a nice partnership there, and then the guys to finish it off, Stoyne and Carey at the end there when the wicket wasn't easy, as you saw at the end when the ball got soft. They batted beautifully there and put a really good total. And once we had that total and we bowled really well, it was just we had to just keep doing it for as long as we can, and we did.
So how is Usman Khwaja, the one-day batsman, feeling currently?
Yeah, great. My first 100 in one-day cricket. I had a 98 before this and ran myself out, so it was nice to get those 2 extra runs this time.
Congratulations on the award and also on the win, Usman. Well done. Keep it up.
Cheers. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Usman Khwaja, our man of the match, and that finishes our business from down here.
Well, Usman Khwaja deservedly declared the man of the match and pretty pleased with his maiden half century, which came in a winning cause for Australia. Aaron Finch also striking back into form with 93, and then Australia winning the match by 32 runs, deserving winners. And we will say bye from Ranchi now, and we will be back with live action from Mohali on Sunday afternoon. Goodbye.
One team on path of setting new records. Another made history in the past. And now, one more time. These two teams will fight each other to prove their might. 2 T20s, 5 ODIs, Australia Tour of India. Don't miss live commentary with cricket experts on SportsFlashes Radio, the global audio broadcaster of BCCI. Tune in now to SportsFlashes Radio, the world's biggest sports radio channel. You are listening to SportsFlashes Live.
Dhoni finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup. Pulls it back. Here's Ronaldo for the hat-trick. And Cristiano Ronaldo does it again.
SportsFlashes, world's biggest sports radio channel. You are tuned into SportsFlashes Radio.
And what a performance by the number 3 seed, Saina Nehwal, who tomorrow will contest a third All-England semi-final.
SportsFlashes, world's biggest sports radio channel.
Because the bowler does get extra bit of bounce, but Usman Khawaja plays it perfectly. He's onto the front foot and hits it towards the side screen, presenting the full face of the bat.
Now as right-handed Finch takes strike against Jadeja, we've got a slip back in position, and Rohit Sharma this time in the air, but past the point fielder. Cover boundary rider will not be able to cut it off. A boundary for Finch, and Australia move on to now 59 without loss.
Asking for trouble now. Aaron Finch joining the party. Khawaja, who was dominating the early part of the innings. Now Aaron Finch getting boundaries at regular intervals. Short and fractionally wide. Was in the air but in the gap.
The other one, of course, is the MS Dhoni pavilion, where well, MS Dhoni is keeping from that end at the moment. Here is Vijay Shankar over the wicket to Usman Khawaja. Full delivery on the off stump and driven down the ground. It's pierced the field on the offside, just wide of mid-off. Fielders didn't even move, and it's gone for a 4. And that is the 8th boundary now for Usman Khawaja, who's moved on to 37 of 33 balls. 65 for no loss now, the score for Australia. Kedarja, the bowling from the MS Dhoni end. Fuller delivery, and this time Finch has played it up in the air, will easily clear the fence, into the crowd, over the moat. And that's a 6. First 6 of the game to Aaron Finch. 81 for no loss. He's moved on to 37. The boundaries are short here. It was tossed up from Kedar Jadhav. MS Dhoni now walking down the track and having a word with his bowler. Meanwhile, Finch takes the aerial route once again and deposits it over long on. Second 6 for Aaron Finch. He moves on to 47. He's treating Kedar Jadhav with disdain. Leg side boundary for the right-hander is really short, and the boundaries have been brought in a lot. There's the moat, there's a gap to the advert boards, there's another gap to the boundary rope. So you're looking at maybe 55-meter boundary at best. Meanwhile, we've had visuals of Mohammad Shami walking on the boundary line with Patrick Farhad, the physio, walking gingerly. Flattered through the air from Finch. He's cut it away past the fielder at point. Chase there, but he will be beaten. Boundary there for Finch. He's moved on to 50. Half century for Aaron Finch for the first time in a while. The dressing room is clapping. 19th ODI half century for Aaron Finch in his career, and it has been a long time coming.
He's square this time, eye in the air, but missed by Rohit Sharma. Misjudged the bounce. Another boundary for Aaron Finch brings to the end over number 18. 116 without loss. 9-1 this time outside the off stump. Missed there by Virat Kohli. A rare misfield from the Indian captain. The ball will race away to the boundary. So what looked like being a good over, suddenly, beg your pardon, the misfield came from Vijay Shankar.
Off that over, 24 gone. It's 145 for no loss. 20 for no loss now. Last ball of this 25th over. 7 runs off it already. Back of length, outside the off stump. It's got away for 4. Expensive over for India. Expensive for Vijay Shankar as well. 11 off it, 2 boundaries, 25 gone. It's 156 for no loss. Skidder from Kuldeep Yadav was going down leg side. Never interesting enough for the LBW. Kuldeep Yadav over the wicket to Khawaja, who's taken the aerial route and will clear the fence easily. 4th 6 of the Australian innings. First for Khawaja. He's moved on to 83 of 79. Australia 171 for no loss. Last delivery of this over. 3 fielders on the 30-yard circle. A slip in position as well. Mid-wicket in place as well for Finch, who sweeps. Again an appeal from Kuldeep, but it was sliding down leg side. And it's come off his gloves perhaps, and it's down to the leg side boundary for 4. Vijay Shankar at fine leg was a lot squarer. He's not able to cut it off. Another boundary to Finch. 9 fours in it now. He's moved on to 85. The score for Australia 176.
Left arm spinner Kuldeep Yadav this time again from close to the off stump, cuts it away towards deep point. Will pick up another easy single. Score moving on to 182 now for the no loss. 2 more deliveries to come. This over has yielded 3 runs so far, and India would be pretty pleased with what they've achieved so far in this over. 1 dot ball and 3 singles. Time going high and just wide of the long on fielder. So just when the over looked like getting to be a good one, Finch strikes, gets one to the boundary, moves to 91 now. Australia 186 without loss. Finch do now. Back on the full and up goes the finger. So Kuldeep Yadav provides India the much awaited breakthrough. Aaron Finch having a chat with Usman Khwaja. Will he go for the review? Yes, he has. Had a long chat. Ball hitting him fairly low. The original decision from the umpire is out. Third umpire Kumar Dharmasena will want to have a look first at the no ball. The foot landing went inside the line, so no problems there whatsoever. The ball pitching and turning. Finch on the back foot covering all 3 stumps, hit well below the knee pad. Now the ball tracker will come into play. Australia might end up losing this review and the wicket. Not much height on that ball. No contact with the bat, says the sneakometer. All 3 stumps covered by the batsman and going to hit smack into the middle stump. All reds, and Finch has to depart, and Australia not only lose their captain but also lose their review. First wicket down at 193 in the 32nd over. Aaron Finch, LBW to Kuldeep Yadav for 93, and certainly now the Indian bowlers can start to breathe easy. First wicket for India. Leg slip, tries to play it down the leg, goes high and handsome, and fielder has absolutely no chance. The ball hitting the top of the side screen at the north end. That's the 5th, 6th of the innings hit by the Australians. First by Glenn Maxwell, hit the top of the screen. Very, very well done by Glenn Maxwell. 7 runs of the first 3 deliveries. 1 to 11 for 1. 36th over in progress. 3 runs in this over so far. Australia have hit 21 fours and 5 sixes. 3 by Aaron Finch. This time very well done by Glenn Maxwell. An over pitch delivery between cover and mid-off to the extra cover fence for 4 runs. First 4 from Glenn Maxwell. Australia move on to 215 for 1. Vijay Shankar now getting the treatment. Virat Kohli needs 1 more over from Vijay Shankar or Kedar Jadhav. The way things have panned so far, more likely that it will be Vijay Shankar. Launching into the next one from Ravindra Jadeja is Glenn Maxwell. High and handsome over the long on fielder for 6 runs. Second 6 from Glenn Maxwell takes Australia on to 222 for 1. Now 22 of 13. Next one is clipped away towards deep mid wicket. 4 runs. First 2 deliveries hit for 10 by Glenn Maxwell. His previous ODI appearance here, 92 from his blade. Strike rate well above 100, almost 120. Jadeja. It's time. Launching it towards the extra cover area. Another boundary. Back-to-back hits from the right-handed Glenn Maxwell. 14 runs of the first 3 deliveries. Jadeja is into his 8th over. Has given away 53 runs so far. Yeah. 1 shot of his maiden appeal. No effect on umpire Wilson. Nervous 90s. Tried to run that down towards the final leg area. Very quickly coming off the 30-yard line was Rohit Sharma. Loud appeal from Jadeja, but the decision going in favour of the batsman. Remember, both teams have lost their reviews. And this is Khwaja's maiden one-day international 100. 100 of 107 deliveries, and it's really proved a wonderful foil to his captain. 100 of 107 deliveries, playing took exactly the part that Australia wanted him to do, holding his end up, scoring pretty freely, scoring his strike rate just under 94.
Shami round the wicket to Khwaja this time, and this is out. Shot of length outside the off stump. Just enough width to make a pull shot out of it, but not timed properly, and hits straight to mid-wicket to Bumrah, who was stationed just a while back at mid-off, but now moved on to mid-wicket. So that change worked. He's gone now. The second wicket has fallen for Australia. 239 for 2. Khwaja out for 104 of 113 balls. Second wicket for India. Maybe they would want to make a few more inroads.
Hitting the toe end of the bat, slow delivery at around 118 Ks. Wanted to hit it over mid-wicket, but hitting the toe end of the bat. And the fielder after the misfield, Bumrah.
This time, play and a miss from Glenn Maxwell. It was wide outside the off stump. Kept a tad low as well for Maxwell's comfort. Went for a huge swing that could have easily cleared the mid-wicket fence. The last four as Kuldeep Yadav into his 9th over. Glenn Maxwell backs off, makes room, clears the long off fence for a 6. His third 6. He's moved on to 45. 255 for 2. Kuldeep over the wicket to Marsh, who backs off and finds the gap. This is stopped well at extra cover. And a direct throw from Ravindra Jadeja. In fact, it was deflected by MS Dhoni onto the stumps. Loud appeal, but mostly from the crowd. Was Maxwell in or not? He's taking a couple of steps back. So maybe Jadeja has affected another run out. And yes, he's caught short. He's caught short by a couple of steps there. So Maxwell is run out. His big hitting innings is coming to an end. Fine fielding effort, but wait, did Dhoni break the stumps there just as the ball hit the stumps? It's out.
This time Kuldeep Yadav is high and into the hands of the long on fielder. Australia lose another wicket, that of Shaun Marsh now. Vijay Shankar was the man at long off, and all of a sudden the crowd is up on its feet. Shaun Marsh gone for 7. Australia 4 for 263. Losing quick wickets has started to hurt Australia. Peter Hanscom so far. 14 minutes time, loud appeal and given. Peter Hanscom survived just 2 deliveries. Trapped leg before by Kuldeep Yadav. Third wicket for Kuldeep. Hanscom goes without scoring, and all of a sudden the start that Australia had, they are not able to capitalize on that. Quick wickets of Khwaja, Maxwell, Shaun Marsh, Peter Hanscom has now suddenly put brakes on their scoring rate. 2 wickets in this over, and Australia are suddenly finding themselves on the back foot. Shikhar Dhawan at extra cover, Shankar at mid-off. On the 30-yard line, this time driven straight, absolutely straight over the stumps into the ropes for 4. Virat Kohli at mid-on can do nothing about it. Back-to-back boundaries for Alex Carey. Score now goes up to 284 for 5. Again, Shami right arm round the wicket, this time clipping it towards the deep cover area. It will be fielded and returned, but not before batsman complete 2. Ambati Raidu was the man in the deep. Stoinis is the one. Stoinis once again. This time clipped away just out of the reach of Mohammad Shami at third man. So Stoinis gets his second boundary, moves on to a runner ball 18. Australia 292 for 5. 13 deliveries to go in this innings. 13 legal deliveries. Stoinis now clips it away towards the backward point here, backward square area, and picks up a 4, making it a good over for Australia once again. This over having yielded 10 runs 49 overs bowled, Australia 303 for 5, and Shikhar Dhawan drops back to the third man fence. So Virat Kohli, the man on the long off fence, has come at mid-off. It's time again to just past the point fielder, into the fence by Carey. Missed out the last time, but this time backing away is Carey and smashing it past point Kuldeep Yadav into the fence. No chance whatsoever for third man fielder Shikhar Dhawan. Australia move on to 307 for 5. Ball pitching and cutting back in as well, and possibly that went in Bumrah's favour. Second dot ball of the over. It's given away 5 runs so far. 2 more to go in the innings. 308 for 5. Bumrah to Stoinis. It's time, smash towards the cover fence. 4 runs. Very well placed there by Stoinis. 312 for 5 now. 1 more delivery to go. At the moment, 312 for 5. Bumrah's time. Straight to the cover fielder. Just that 1 run. And Australia have completed their stipulated 50 overs with a total of 313 for 5.
Last ball of the second over. Chai Richardson bowling to Shikhar Dhawan. Back of length again on the off stump, straighter delivery, and he's driven it straight to mid-off for another dot delivery. That's a maiden over to start with for Chai Richardson. It's 1 for no loss after 2. They say assisted, and that's what Dhoni did. He assisted Jadeja today. Meanwhile, it's Cummins to Rohit Sharma, who's lofted it straight down the ground. That's one of the straightest shots you'll ever see. Over the bowler's head, over the umpire's head, over the ropes, and that's a 6 to end the third over. It's 11 for no loss. Asia 11 early in his career. This time through. No, he's out. It felt as if the ball had gone through, but Glenn Maxwell is up to the task, diving to his right. Shikhar Dhawan hits the ball in the air, and India have lost the first wicket. Cut it away from Chai Richardson. Maxwell diving to his right, and in the blink of an eye, Dhawan is caught. He's out for 1 of 10 deliveries. Shot wide gully, backward point, and cover in place. This time, oh, a lemon cut. How lucky is that for Rohit Sharma? It was angled in on the off stump, thickish inside edge, and just wide of the leg stump, running down, fine leg for 4. 15 for 1 India. It's a second boundary of Rohit Sharma's bat. Now there's a bit of change in the field. Fine leg is coming up in the circle. Square leg has been sent to the deep. No changes of the offside, with third man still on the boundary, and the cordon similarly intact on the offside. There's a loud appeal. The umpire is not interested. Angled in, and Rohit Sharma was hit on the middle and leg, and they've asked for a DRS review. This will be interesting, because India have already lost Shikhar Dhawan. Perhaps height might have been a factor. We'll just wait and watch. The original decision is not out. Third umpire is Kumar Dharmsena. From the side-on angle, we can see that his front foot is perfectly fine. First look of visuals. Whoa, this could be close. The bat doesn't look anywhere close to the ball, as it made impact on the knee roll, on the back leg. Confirmation then, snickometer. The ball thudding into the front pad first, but is it close to the bat? Just past the bat now. There's a bit of etching on the snickometer, but the umpire is taking his time. Perhaps he's decided it's not an edge. So 2 reds and 3 reds. And that is out. We're just waiting for the on-field umpire's decision. Samshuddin on the screen now, reverses his decision, and Rohit Sharma has to walk back. But from naked eye, in real time, didn't look like an edge. Meanwhile, Kohli is off the mark with 2 runs. Score for India, 18 for 2. This time drives past point. There is nobody in the deep. Maxwell didn't get down in time. Boundary for Kohli. First for him. He's 6 not out, and after 5 overs, India are 22 for 2.
6 of 5 deliveries, including a well-struck 4 by Kohli. This time outside the off-stump again. This time placed it to the left of Glenn Maxwell, screaming away to the point fence. 4 runs. So Kohli has already signalled that he means business. 3 men on the onside, 4 on the off. That's the field for Ambati Rayudu's next one. Bowled in! Went right through Ambati Rayudu, and India have lost their 3rd wicket. 3 for 27 is the score, chasing 314 for victory. Ambati Rayudu clean bowled by Cummins. Another disappointing outing for Rayudu. Gone for 2 of 8 deliveries, and India are in deep trouble. 32 for 3. Next one from Richardson outside the off stump. Crashed away past a diving Glenn Maxwell. Can't do anything about it. Way out of his reach. And that's the first boundary off the blade of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Brings a loud cheer from the crowd. Score moves on to 36 for 3. Dhoni now on 5 of 10. Just a bit of width outside the off stump, and Dhoni was very quick to pounce on that. Square driving past the electric Glenn Maxwell into the fence. Next one, short, pulled away into the fence, 4 runs. Shah Richardson pitching it short, possibly hoping to surprise Mahendra Singh Dhoni with that one, but Dhoni saw it very early, was very well balanced in his shot, controlled it away from the fielders. 4 runs, 40 for 3. One more delivery to go. The crowd getting excited. Dhoni's moved on to 9 of 12. Second boundary for him. This time outside the off stump, allowed to go through to wicketkeeper Alex Carey. And that brings us to the end of over number 10. So at the end of the power play, India are 40 for the loss of 3 wickets. 3 wickets going rather early. Dhawan in the 4th over.
Stoinis continues to Virat Kohli this time. What a glorious shot that is. Outside the off stump, enough room to chance his arm, and he drives on the rise past the fielder at extra cover. There's nobody in the deep protecting the boundary, and that's a 4 of the very first ball. Brilliant shot from Kohli. 4th boundary, he moves on to 29 of 30 balls.
This time, yes, as we said it, Mahendra Singh Dhoni tees off, and into the stand she goes. First 6 for Dhoni, second in the match from India, and India move on to 85 for 3. Almost on cue, MS Dhoni just jumped out of the crease, picked that one from Nathan Lyon, and deposited it over the mid-wicket boundary into the stands for a 6. 85 for 3. Dhoni on strike, 26 of 41, 2 4s and a 6. Last over from Nathan Lyon yielded 12 runs for India. Zampa will bowl from the south end. Facing him is Dhoni. One slip in position and bowled him. Went right through the defence of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. A hush falls on the ground. Wicket for Zampa as disappointed faces in the crowd. Dhoni gone. Bowled by Zampa for 26. And now India have certainly got a fight on their hands. Started with this time, short delivery, pulled away, no chance for the mid-wicket fielder. So Kohli ends the over with a boundary. 20 overs gone. It's 95 for 4. India chasing 314 for victory. Asking rate has certainly climbed past 7, but it's being kept under control with these big overs coming. The loss of Mahendra Singh Dhoni in this over, but also 9 runs accrued. So Zampa's 2 overs have cost him 14 runs.
Worked away nicely to third man Virat Kohli, running the first one hard. All he can get is a single. So Kedar Jadhav will come on strike. That's what the Australians wanted.
50th ODI half century for Virat Kohli. He's the man, he's the key man here. 5 boundaries in there, 52 balls. It's come in good time despite the loss of 4 wickets for India. But like I said, he's the man who has to shepherd this run chase for India, as he has done on many occasions previously. Mid-on, extra cover, mid-wicket and backward point in position for Virat Kohli. Shot off Length this time on middle and leg, and he swiveled on his back foot and pulled it away towards fine leg for 4. That's a gimme ball for Virat Kohli. Moves on to 54. India 113 for 4. Virat Kohli trying to go through the gears here.
128 kilometers. He bowls short to a well set Virat Kohli. You're asking for trouble.
He bowls once again from the MSD end. Again back of length this time, straying down the leg side. He's just helped it along. Back-to-back boundaries for Virat Kohli. His 7th 4. This is poor length from Stoinis on the previous delivery, and poor line this time.
Worked away elegantly. Waited and waited for the ball to come on to him because he's straight in line. Works it fine again. But immediately after he played the shot, he had a quick word with his partner, asking him if he'd come a long way across. He doesn't want to become a candidate for a leg before Virat Kohli at this stage.
Leg, and he smashed it. Pulled it in front of the fielder at deep mid-wicket. He's trying but could not cut off. And a welcome boundary, the second for Jadhav. He's moved on to 15 of 19, 123 for 4.
Should expect the odd short delivery every now and again from Adam Zampa. He's bowled a few, even in his first spell.
Partnership 37 of 35 balls as Virat Kohli takes the aerial route against Marcus Stoinis. True extra cover. It's too much to do for Pat Cummins in the deep. And back-to-back. In fact, he starts this over with a boundary. Last ball was a dot. So 2 boundaries of 3 deliveries for India. Score moving along just fine, 127 for 4.
Very rarely you see Virat Kohli hitting the ball in the air, even if it's a limited over game. And first time he's gone aerial. He's got a boundary at the first ball, putting pressure on Marcus Stoinis.
Back of length on the middle stump, and what a shot that is from Virat Kohli. Up on one leg, just pulls it. Textbook shot through square leg for a boundary. 2 boundaries in this over now, 9th for Kohli. He's going through the gears definitively. 47 of 40 the partnership. The score moves on to 133 for 4.
It's making batting look very, very easy. Short delivery, you're right. It was into the ribcage with just a flick of the wrist. Dismissed it from his presence.
10 runs of this over so far from Stoinis. Last ball, and he's driven it. What a shot. Creamed it through the covers. Just past the fielder at extra cover. There's nobody in the deep to stop that. 26 overs gone, 137 for 4. Virat Kohli into his 70s now. 10 boundaries in there.
And would you believe the strike rate that he's going at? A wicket stumbling at the other end. Virat Kohli is batting like a champion like he normally does.
Ooh, a play and a miss there from Kohli. There's loud appeal from Maxwell and from Carey as well. The ball runs down to the boundary. Leg by, signal by umpire Shamsuddin. Maxwell having a chat with the wicketkeeper.
They have a review if they want to take. Usually the umpires wait before the opposition has decided if they want to take the review or not. But Shamsuddin, the umpire, signaled 4 leg byes, and Joel Wilson was walking towards the straight umpire and the bowler. 15 seconds to take your time.
Onto the leg stump, and he's flicked it. Chase for the fielder from square leg, but he will not be able to